Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So if you haven't followed, my channel is usually in French, but there's going to be more and more videos in English, also because a lot of people that are French on my channel asked for more videos in English. And today I am joined by...
Me!
And your
Hello,
name is...
everyone. Je m'appelle Eric.
No, but you can't... No, look, you gotta do it in English because this is going to be too confusing to edit otherwise.
Okay.
So
hello.
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 So his name is Eric.
So my name's Eric. Hello. I am Marie's... Je m'appelle... Hi, my name's Eric. This is my beautiful girlfriend, Marie.
Okay, there we go. Alright, so today he is here because we're going to talk about our vacation in Greece, in the Greek islands. So the way we did it and the way this is going to work is we're going to make two videos, hopefully, if this one turns out to be good. And this first video is going to be about our first week in Greece, which was in PAROS, on Paros Island. And then we spent another week in Santorini, which we'll make another video about. There will also be articles on my blog about our trips with added stuff, because we can't say everything in the video. So you'll find articles in English and in French in the description box below. Also, don't forget to subscribe if you're new to my channel. I feel like this is our channel, but this is still my channel.
I don't have my own channel.
No. Okay, so don't forget to subscribe and follow both of us on Instagram.
Yes, I don't know what my handle is, but Marie will put it in the comment section below.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so we're gonna start. I have notes here because there's a lot of things to say, but we just got back from Greece at the end of August.
End of August.
And we're gonna talk first about practical information about Greece in general. Do you want to go ahead with the currency?
Practical information. Okay, well, for those of you who live in France or the EU, they do use the euro. So you don't have to change currencies or anything like that. You can, the same money that you use in France or wherever you are in the European Union, you can just use that money in Greece, no problem.
But if you're American or Canadian or somewhere else, from somewhere that's not in the EU, you'll need to exchange your money. Into
euros, yeah. And it's probably recommended that you do that before you actually travel. Go to your own local bank and obtain some euros because you'll get a better exchange rate. If you do it at the airport, for instance, or in some places in the country, say if you did it in Greece, they probably charge you a lot more of a premium than they would have if you just did it in your own country. So that'd be my recommendation.
And mine too. Alright, the language they speak is Greek. Wow, shocker.
Yeah.
But they do speak really good English, and they also do speak really good French.
Yeah, no, they speak. They
speak a lot of languages.
And the road signs, excuse me, and everything will be. They'll have the Greek phrasing and lettering, and then they'll have the English lettering as well. But everyone, literally everyone you speak to, will speak English, and it's normally always really good. So you'll have no problem there. And for those of you that are French, good news as well. A lot of them speak French as well, because there's a lot of French tourists, as we found. Yeah.
The internet. So, I think in the few videos we watched before we went to Greece, people were saying, Americans especially, were saying the internet wasn't that good or something. I don't know. We found that there was internet pretty much everywhere you go, whether it's a cafe, restaurant. At the hotel we had some issues in Santorini with the hotel, but they fixed it and then the Wi-Fi was working fine. In Paris we didn't have any issues. Like, everything has Wi-Fi, so it's not really a problem. And if you have a plan if you're from the EU and you have a mobile plan, you're allowed to use it anywhere in the EU. So you'll have internet and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. For safety,
I was just gonna say, like, you'll have better service, mobile service in like the main towns. Yeah.
Sometimes you lose it. Like,
you'll lose it if you go outside like small country roads or whatever like that. But generally the Wi-Fi or the internet, the 4G, whatever, is actually pretty strong and pretty decent.
For the safety, I found it really safe. I'm usually more aware than you when it comes to safety, because you've never had like any issues in the streets, or in France, it's not like this everywhere, but obviously as a student in a big city, I've had like men coming up to me and being annoying even when I was saying I wasn't interested. I've had cars slowing down next to me on roads in like the main avenues and kind of being sketchy or like kind of following me. I'd had to like go different ways to go home so people wouldn't follow me, that kind of stuff. And I'm like obviously not the only one that has experienced this. But in Greece, I found that no one was sketchy or anything like this. It's very safe. You can walk by yourself at night. It's like you don't have to worry about anything. It's really safe. Just like any country though, like when you go to visit or anywhere you go, just be mindful of your belongings and obviously like don't leave your iPhone on a bench thinking no one's going to take it. That's kind of stupid.
Yeah, I think generally it's very safe.
Yeah.
Like you won't see a big police presence at all. Like,
no. And people are really nice too. They're very kind. So if you need help, we helped a woman that didn't really know where she was supposed to go. It was like 11 p.m. She was kind of lost. She was looking for a hostel. And I could tell she was a bit worried because it was getting late and she was by herself. So I was like, don't worry. You can ask pretty much anyone for help. Everyone's really helpful and kind. So.
Yeah, the people there are generally very laid back and so
yeah.
very approachable.
Yeah. And for ATMs, so to withdraw cash, we watched a few videos on YouTube from people that went to Greece, like in the previous years, I don't know when, and they were saying that they had a hard time finding ATMs and withdrawing cash and that it was complicated to find one and that you'd have to really plan it in advance. That's not at all our experience. They were also saying that it was difficult to pay with a credit or debit card and that few places actually accepted credit cards and debit cards. That's not our experience either. On both islands, just to like talk about both islands, everywhere pretty much accepts credit cards and debit cards. If they don't, they'll usually have a little sign or something.
Say cash only, but even then we didn't come across
no.
Like, barely any
and
places that
there are
accepted
ATMs
cash.
like everywhere.
Yeah.
So it's not really a problem. If you come from outside the EU, like you were saying, bring some euros with you, but you'll be able to withdraw some in the country.
Yeah, it's not an issue. Like any of the major cities, even the smaller ones, have at least one ATM or
yeah.
definitely more. So no issues there.
Yeah. Okay, so now about PAROS. So the way we did it is we flew to PAROS through Athens, and then from PAROS to Santorini we took the ferry, and then we flew from Santorini through Athens again. So the flights cost us about 900 euros total, so two round trips, which is like around 450 euros a round trip.
Per person.
Per person. So it's not, like in our experience, it's not excessive, exaggerated, because we have paid for like the same amount for flights that were like much closer, much shorter.
Yeah. But the thing is, we booked quite late in the season.
Yeah, we did.
And you can find flights directly from London for, 40, 50 euros if you book far enough in advance.
Which would be like around 5 months. 4 or 5 months in advance would be a good time.
And you can fly directly to the island of your choice through London. So you can, fly from Paris or Luxembourg, wherever your closest airport is if you live in France, fly over to London and then just take a direct flight there. There's probably really cheap flights directly from Paris to the islands as well.
Probably.
So it's just about like anything, the further in advance that you book, the better deal that you're going to get.
Yeah. So book in advance and also go on websites like Skyscanner. They'll scan for like the cheaper flights. Obviously, the more layovers you have, the cheapest it's going to be, but also the longest, so it depends what you want to do. If you want to, we could have, if we had the time, we could have split the trip in a way that we would have spent a few days in Athens maybe and then go to the island, you know what I mean? Instead of just doing a layover in Athens and going right away to the island. So it kind of depends what you want, but yeah. Now, in PAROS, do you want to talk about our accommodation?
So, well, you booked it, so you can, I'll describe it a bit. So basically it's a sister company to a hotel there. Yeah. And we didn't have a hotel room. What we had was like a suites. So we had a
studio. It's called
a studio.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, it was not a suite. Thank you. Wasn't that luxurious, but it's basically like a little apartment with a little functional kitchen. It did have like a little hob
Yeah,
so
it did.
You could, but it didn't have an oven, so it had a little hob system.
It didn't have a microwave either.
Had a refrigerator, a freezer,
yeah.
and then, you know, basic things to make coffee. You could basically, your extent was limited to using like pots and pans because you only had that to cook with. We didn't actually cook that much in the apartments, but it was just nice to have, just so we can make breakfast and prepare things for lunch, etc.
I'll insert right now the tour we filmed for you because it's funny, and you can actually see we had a balcony with like the view on the mountains. So I'll insert the clip now. Hello, come on in. Let's do a little tour of the place that we rented. So here is the bed. One bed we used to put all of our crap on. I put most of the things away, but as you can tell, it's still messy. And here is the bed where we sleep. So we have someone that comes every day. So this is like a studio, but it's part kind of an hotel. So they have someone that comes in and cleans the place once a day around 12. We don't really know. But anyways, like they make the sheet look nice and the towels are clean and all that. So this is our little studio. So this is the sleeping part. Here we have a little desk, I guess. We eat breakfast here because we have a kitchen and breakfast is not included, but with the kitchen we can make coffee. I only drink water in the morning, so I'm easy, and we bought bread and butter, and then we also bought food for lunches so we can put them in the fridge, and we also have a freezer for ice so we can take food to the beach. So it's a full-on kitchen. It's really nice, easy, and also makes the vacation a bit cheaper. You don't have to eat out all the time. And if you come with me this way, don't trip. If you come with me this way, we have the bathroom. So it's a pretty basic bathroom. You have the toilet. So here in Greece, you do not throw the paper or anything in the toilet. You throw it in the trash can, which is a little, it's fine, but it can be a little gross. It's nice that someone comes every day and cleans it. We have a shower. The pressure hasn't been the best. Only last night it was really good because we showered at like 10:30, and so no one else was showering, and so we had really good pressure. But the other days it's just kind of like dripping, like really slowly, and yeah. But other than that, it's really nice, very clean. The sink, you've seen the sink before, so that's great. And now, my favorite part of the studio is this little balcony here that kind of gives out on the churches out there. Kind of, if you, I don't know, like somewhere there, here, there's like churches, and it's kind of nice. And this area is very quiet. So it's nice. I'll help you. We've had many apéros here. So apéro in French is the time where you have a drink and sometimes a little snack. I don't know how to explain it. You guys don't really have that. You have like appetizers, but not like as apéro as the French. So yeah, we have it here. It's nice. You can kind of see, not really the sunset, because the sun sets this way, I think. But it's nice colors, golden hour, all that kind of stuff. So it's nice. And now we have neighbors on this side and neighbors on this side. So the thing about this apartment, come inside, better, quieter. The thing about this apartment is that it's not the best insulated. So you can kind of hear when people are outside. I'll show you, we have a little area this way where you can have like lunch or breakfast. And the thing is, here is in the shade at night, but here is in the shade in the morning and for lunch. So it's kind of better to not eat in like the burning sun. So sometimes when people are outside late, you can kind of hear them and it's kind of annoying. And also there's been this weird kind of like ghostly noise at night. It goes boom, boom, like twice like this, and then nothing, and then I'll do it again, like 10 minutes later or 15 minutes later, sometimes 2 minutes later, so it kind of creeps me out, but other than that, very good. So now let's show you the little area. Hopefully no one's there and I don't move. We're good. So this is really nice. Like, so each apartment has its own table. So we got this little table, and it's just, we ate here though, so it doesn't really matter. And now I'd like to show you where it gives on the street, just so you have a little idea. If you can't really walk up the stairs and stuff like that, that wouldn't be ideal because you have to walk upstairs here. But you go down this way. Yeah, this is where it gives out, and so this way you go to the beach, you go to the town, to all the restaurants. It's like 5 minutes, and then you have the whole port and all to walk around at night. And then this way is the way to the main road, and that will take you to like the other beaches and stuff. The buses are this way. It's like what, 10 minutes to the buses walking? Very easy and very convenient to walk around, well, to drive around, I guess. And then up there, as you can see, there's a windmill that you can access this way or like around. So it's a very good location. It's pretty central, so we can walk everywhere or bus everywhere. So yeah, very nice. Let's go back. Alright, so there you go. This was our little studio apartment in PAROS. And I hope you enjoyed it. If you've ever been to PAROS, let me know in the comments. And yeah, now we're gonna have our little apéro and we'll catch up with you later. Bye bye! Okay, so now that you've seen the clip, you can tell a bit more about the studio. So for this studio, we paid, I think it was 640 euros. So we didn't have breakfast included. However, the rule was that if you rented a studio, you couldn't go to the hotel pool that was kind of like linked to it, because usually they rent studios to families. However, because we're a couple, they said that we could use the pool of the hotel, which was really nice because it was a pretty nice pool.
I didn't know about that rule. I thought they just let...
No, that's what he said in the car.
Oh, okay.
It was like, oh, like when it's families, like we don't let them because of the kids, they're allowed, but you're just a couple, so you can come.
Yeah, it was nice. In the pool, I think you probably have a clip of the pool, maybe.
Yeah, I'll insert clip here.
It's nice, yeah.
Yeah, and it cost us 20 euros to go from the airport to the hotel, because the reception's at the hotel, so you have to go there and then they take us to the studio. And so it cost us 20 euros and we took a cab. Yeah. So that's good to know too. That's about it for the studio. Now the transportation, you want to talk about this?
Sure.
Excellent transportation. So we have to say...
I thought I was going to talk about
no,
this.
just say what we chose to do, because like not everyone is like familiar with what we chose to do, not renting a car, that kind of stuff. Go ahead.
I don't understand your question, but basically, I'll just take it from here. Thank you. So we decided to, for our budget needs, that we would just take the bus system in for the PAROS Islands and just rent a car for Santorini. And initial impression and after impression of taking the bus system in PAROS, it is excellent. It's really good. You have buses that come all throughout the day and they take you to all the various hot spots on the island. So whatever beach, any popular beach you want to go to, any popular town that you want to go to, there's buses that run, you know, all throughout the day and well into the night.
Every hour.
Basically every hour to half hour, and they run like really late into the night, so...
Hour. Every hour,
okay, sorry. Yeah, but it was very, very convenient. I mean, the downside is you're kind of restricted to the schedule of the bus, but the upside is that it's really affordable.
And relaxing.
Yeah, so you don't have to worry about drive or anything like that. So your average ticket, you know, to get to a beach on the other side of the island is probably €2.40, depending on where you wanted to go, but no more than €2 and like 80 cents. I think that's the most we spent.
No, the more we spent was $3.40.
$3.40. Okay, you're not going to spend more than $3.40. So it's cheap and it's a convenient way to get around.
Yeah.
And because we went in the like middle to late end of August, the buses weren't actually that busy. So they were busy, but we were always able to get on a bus. We always had a seat. I think one time I had to stand, but there was never like anyone, even other people that missed the bus. There wasn't any of that.
No.
So I recommend taking the bus, but we can only say that the bus system for the time that we went. We don't know what it's like in peak season.
Yeah,
it might be different, but definitely like from the middle to end of August, like in our experience, it was perfect, very easy. Yeah. And if you have any questions about the buses, again, everyone speaks English and a lot of people speak French too.
They're really helpful. One thing I'll say though is the buses will take you to like the main spots on the island, but like the one beach we wanted to do the first day, actually we got stuck because we wanted to take the bus and then we were going to take a taxi boat, but the taxi boats were not working that day because it was too windy. And so we kind of got stuck there because the other buses for the other beaches were not there yet. We had to wait like another hour. So we kind of ended up in that town with not much to do. And so we decided to go to another beach with a bus that was coming like sooner. So you kind of, sometimes I guess if you don't know that kind of stuff, you have to be a bit flexible. That only happened to us once.
Yeah,
so it wasn't bad at all.
When she says stuck, we're not stuck. It means we had to wait half hour for another bus to come.
I was frustrated though because my plan wasn't happening.
And the town that we were stuck in was actually called Nausa, which is the second biggest city or town on the island of Paros. Has fantastic restaurants, nightlife. So it wasn't the end of the world, and we were able to quickly catch another bus to another.
No, but if your main like activity of the day is going to the beach and then you're losing 2 hours because your taxi boat is not working, that can get frustrated on vacation. Because we don't have kids, but imagine people with kids and they're like, when are we going to the beach? And
flexible is the key word.
Yeah, but other than that, excellent bus system.
Yeah, so just to reiterate, if it's really windy, there's water taxis that will take you to some of the beaches from Nausa.
Yeah, if it's not windy.
Yeah, as long as it's not too windy.
Yeah. Alright, now activities. So the main activity obviously is going to the beach. Well,
that was for us. We noticed that maybe not a lot of people do that, but that's certainly what we like to do.
But it's, okay, so if you put it into context, it's really hot. So we did visit, like, as tourists, and we went to the towns and stuff, but you can't really do this in the middle of the day because it's like,
it's too hot.
It feels like 40 degrees, so it's too hot. So the main activity remains the beach. Most people went to the beach. We did find that it wasn't as crowded as we saw in the videos that we watched before we left. So I don't know if it was just the time that we went that wasn't as like crazy as we thought it was going to be. But I don't know. I didn't find it that busy.
No, the beaches weren't crowded at all. Loads of room. Like, surprising.
Yeah, so we did almost all the beaches. So the ones on the coast we did by bus, and then the ones in the Nausa Bay we did by quad. I drove. I'll insert a photo here just for proof. And I'll have a specific article on all the different beaches that you can go to, with the ones we recommend, the ones we're disappointed about. So almost all beaches have sunbeds. It goes from 10 euros to 40 euros for 2 sunbeds and an umbrella. 40 euros is way overpriced. Usually it's like 15, 20, that's like okay, but 40 euros is way overpriced. It's usually beach clubs. They'll try to charge you and make you believe that the beaches are private and they're theirs, but they're not. They're public beaches. Only the part that they're on is private. Yeah. But there is always a way that you can go across the beach club, because they have to leave a way, and then you can walk along the beach and find yourself a free spot.
It just depends on your budget. Like if you budget correctly and you don't want to carry around your own umbrella and you like the idea of just like going there, buying a little beach umbrella thing. They have nice kind of places where you can lie down. What do they call it? Just like sunbeds.
And sometimes they're free, but you have to get a drink or something, and usually the drinks are like 4 or 5 euros. Very important tips here. On the beach of Logaras, get a massage, please. There will be this couple, they're Asian, they were really good, it was cheap, it was like 30, well, cheap, cheaper than, it was 35 euros for both of us. It was like one of the best massages I've ever had.
It was very good. So it's usually about €1 per minute.
Yeah.
But you can always try to negotiate. So they originally came to us, and Marie was like a loyal customer. She wanted one right away. I wasn't like too
I don't
sure.
Negotiate for
and so she said it was 20 euros for Marie, and then I was like humming and hawing if I wanted to do it, and she said, oh well, how about you come on, do it. And I was like, I don't know, how about 30 euros for the both of us? And she came back and she said 35, and I said, well, no, come on, 30. But then we settled on 35.
Yeah, I was like, come on, do it.
It's fair enough.
Fair.
I mean, so it was
for 20 minutes.
Quite a bit of a discount for the two of us, and it was excellent. Honestly, one of the best massages I got. See, when you go, I don't know if those people will be there again.
Yeah, they're probably here in all summer, but they're probably go from beach to beach, maybe.
Because, we only saw them once that day, and we never saw them again. Yeah. So, a bit lucky, I think.
Yeah. Another activity you can do is, do what we did, is renting a quad. So an ATV, you can also rent buggies. They have like all sorts of things like this that you can rent for a day. So we booked ours 2 days in advance, but you can usually do it the day before, but maybe not in the middle of summer if it's really busy. So that's what we did, and we paid 55 euros for the whole day. So we got it at 10 a.m. and brought it back the next day at 10 a.m. So it's 24 hours, and it was awesome. I was a bit nervous to drive it because I had never driven one before, but it's really easy. I had a little thumb cramp afterward because you have to push the little thing like this to
the throttle to make it go.
Yeah, to make it go. And it was really good. Like, it took us around the island. We were able to go to all the beaches that the bus couldn't take us to. But the quad just gave us a bit more flexibility. And so we went to Nausa, we had dinner there after the beach, and it was just a really good day.
Yeah, it's fun, and we've seen loads of people rent them.
Oh yeah, it's very common.
Girls and
very
guys.
Safe.
It's very safe because all the roads on Paros and in Santorini, they're all single lane.
Yeah.
And so there's no one beside you when you're driving, which makes it really safe. Speed limits are pretty low, and the locals there are used to people driving on scooters and ATVs and everything like that. So don't be scared to actually go out and try to rent for ATV. It's really fun. You do need a driver's license to rent an ATV. If you want to rent a scooter, you'll need a motorcycle license.
Another activity you can do is visit the towns. So there's Perekia, Nausa. There is another one that's called Lefkas. Hopefully that's how you say it. But we didn't go there just because we didn't really have the time, and also it was really hot. So
it was really hot. And so
we just prefer going to the beach most of the time, and then in the later afternoon go to the towns.
Yeah, I think that's mostly what people do. You'll find during the day and in the morning it's very quiet because people are either at the pool or at the beach. And then late at night the towns get busy because people want to eat dinner, they want to go check out the cities when it's much more comfortable temperature. Yeah.
Another activity you can do is go to Antiparos. So it's the island that is really close to Paros. It's way small, it's smaller. And the way you can do this is either take the ferry straight from Perekia, and so the ferry will take you to Antiparos, or you can take the bus down to Punda, I think, and then from there you take the ferry. So that's what we did, and from there the ferry was €1.30, so it's really cheap. Antiparos isn't very big. Apparently there are buses that can take you around the island, but we chose to stay in the town and to go to the beach that's by the port, which we really liked because we could walk really far. There was this much water, and it was really nice. And do you want to talk about what you can do at night?
Sure. Well, so at nighttime, that's where if you like to party or if you like to go out for dinner, then the towns are really cool. So on the island of Paros, the two main cities are Perekia, that's the town that we stayed in, and then just about 15-20 minutes northeast is another town called Nausa, and in those towns you'll find loads of restaurants, loads of bars, even some nightclub, and certain restaurants, if they're really busy, you'll have to book in advance to get to a seating, but otherwise we didn't book any appointments.
No.
and we were fine. We found...
we just gotta go with the flow. And for all the restaurants and like where to eat in Paris, I'll have an article on the blog as well. And we kind of like rated the meals, and like rated them in order of what we like the best. And it's not always the most expensive, that's the best.
I'd say that was going to be my key takeaway is price does not determine quality in all scenarios. So don't let that bias, prevent you from trying some less inexpensive places. Yeah.
I did get pooped on in one of the most expensive restaurants, so I'll say that.
Sure.
And so other things to do at night, so like you can do like kind of basic things like getting ice cream, walking in the towns, but in Paros one thing no one talks about is actually watching the sunset. Everyone talks about the sunsets in Santorini, and yes, like we'll talk about it in another video, it's beautiful, but the sunsets in Paros are
almost just as good. Like, you're not that far from Santorini, so it's going to be very similar.
Alright, well that's pretty much it for this video. Do you have anything else to add?
I don't know. Just overall impression of Paros. It's not, it's not a lot of there's,
it wasn't as busy as Santorini.
There's loads of tourists, but it's not as busy as Santorini. Like, we noticed a huge difference from Santorini to Paros the moment that you land on the island of Santorini. Whereas in Paros, it's a bit more laid back. The people at the restaurants, they stand outside and they want you to eat. They're not pushy. And it's definitely a lot more inexpensive than Santorini, because Santorini is so touristy that pushes up the prices, where Paros isn't as touristy. The prices are noticeably a bit different. So
one thing I wanted to talk about is food, because as we said, in our rental we had a kitchen, but we didn't have breakfast with the rental or anything, so we had to kind of do everything on our own for food. So what we did is we bought like basic stuff for breakfast, like bread, butter, coffee, that kind of stuff, jam, whatever. And for lunch what we did is that we bought these like tuna salads, so it's like in a can, and it's like tuna with corn and beans and whatever you want in it. And we brought this to the beach. I'll insert a clip here because I'm sure I have a clip somewhere. And these were really good. We also like bought chips and stuff like this. And then at night we would we actually went to restaurants to eat, because it is, as you said, cheaper. And so it was doing good with our budget. Yeah. So that's kind of how we did it.
But I definitely, if you're on a budget and you want to save a bit of money, have breakfast at the hotel, and then get a little cooler bag, bring your own water, and bring your own food for the beach, and then buy dinner out. That's what we did, and that way you can just save so much money, and that way you always get at least one, really good meal at, which I like is dinner at nighttime, and it just works out. It's a good way to save money.
Yeah. So that's it.
Alright. See you in the next video.
Yeah. So that's it for this video. We hope that you liked it. If you did, please click the thumbs up, and also don't forget to check the blog posts on my blog. And if you have any questions, whether for me or for Eric, don't hesitate to leave them in the comments below. And will you answer them?
Well, I'll let Marie be my little agent, and I'll tell her what to say.
I'm her assistant now.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's it. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.